Hello, my name's Laurence. Steve.
Hello, my name's Stephen Lodge.
Stephen. And Steve, what's your second
Stephen
name?
Hamilton.
Stephen Hamilton. And you are from?
Mexborough.
Mexborough.
Originally from Conisborough.
Right. And you, what pits were you working down?
I went to Cape Main Colliery and did training at Manvers and Barnborough collieries. Before I got back to Cape. So that's
right. And what period of time are we talking?
Well, this is 1966.
Right, 66. How? Well, you look very young. Can we just go? How old are you?
I'm 67.
Oh Christ, bloody hell, man! I feel older than you.
How old are you?
I'm a 51.
Oh.
It's the beard. Don't worry.
Yeah,
don't worry.
Yeah.
Christ, 61.
Well, my younger brother looks like Santa.
Oh really?
It'd be great for Father Christmas, and I was Father Christmas last year.
So you're a healthy miner.
Oh yes, I left just in time before all the dust got to me.
Yeah, because we have a lot of we've had a hell of a lot of stories of
yeah.
illness and suffering, and see someone with a fresh.
I remember my uncle died with lung disease through mining.
Really?
He was a deputy at Broadsworth and Marco, I believe. Yeah.
Right.
Vincent Sables.
Yeah. So you got out. Basically, you got out in time before the dust got to you.
I did. I got out in 1980.
Right. So you
I
had
packed in. So I did like 15 years in KB. But
and KB was a good mine.
it was a good mine.
In the sense of, I've heard that KB coal was good coal.
We got all the quality. We got the big washery plant.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Good camaraderie between the men.
Yes.
Well, should I start from when I left school?
Yeah. Well, no. Let's go a bit further than that. No, let's go a bit further back. How?
Further back?
Yes. Where were your father? Your father? What was he?
My father was a miner at Deneby Pit.
At Deneby. So you've and
then
before
I got
that,
uncles who were in mining.
right?
I've got 7 brothers.
7 brothers.
Well, 7, including me. 7 of us, and we worked at various pits in South Yorkshire. I had a brother that had an accident at Edlinton, Yorkshire Main Colliery, but when he were getting better, as he thought, he ended up getting Hodgkin's disease, cancer of the marrow, which 18 months after he died.
Right.
Yeah.
Blimey. So your father was a miner?
My father was a miner.
At the same pit that you were? Deneby Main? KB and Deneby?
Deneby and KB, they're like amalgamated.
Yes.
Deneby KB Colliery Company or something.
Yeah.
My father worked at Deneby Pit. I worked at KB Pit. My brother Gary, Malcolm, Philip Walter, Kevin. We all worked at KB.
Crikey.
Except for when Ronald left to go join the army, and then after the army went back to work at Edlinton.
Right.
Which were a good pit as well.
So were you all Yorkshire born and bred, or?
Oh yes.
Did you come from another?
My mother's side, they call them Sables. Well, they originate from.
Sorry, just before you start, I'm going to move around you. Don't follow me around. I'm going to need to do your ear.
Yeah. My mother's side, they came from Pink Panther country.
What's that?
What is it, Geordieland?
Geordieland, Pink Panther country.
They came from Geordieland, and then when they came down, I think my granddad were a miner also, or an official at one of the pits round here. And then he stayed, but his dad, he went back. He didn't like the deep mines of South Yorkshire, so he went back.
Okay.
But they were all mining family, so these are all scattered around the area.
So there's not much else other than mining in your blood?
Yeah. Run through my veins.
Yeah. So and before your grandfather, were they? What was he?
Yeah.
Miner?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And what about before that?
My great granddad, I don't know on my dad's side, because my mother's side, we can go right far back.
Really?
From to Durham to Cumbria to Ireland. and beyond, you know, because one
Really?
of the family did all the family tree. And then
And you
at my dad's side, I tried it at my dad's side, and it stops. There's a First World War chap, what's his name? Alfred. There's Alfred, there's a great granddad with a bowler hat on. And somebody said that he were a navvy, you know, digging, doing the railways, and used to use a dynamite to blast through.
You got a photograph with him with a bowler hat on?
I've got a bowler hat. I thought, why has he got a bowler hat? You know, why does he look like a toff? Really like all official. And then there's my dad's dad. He only looked young as well. I mean, and I thought, well, there's all these miners, but he died young.
Your dad died?
So, yeah.
Your grandfather?
So my dad didn't know anything about his family or where they came from.
Right.
So as far as we know, my dad's side, they're all from Yorkshire.
So what I'm looking at here then is a Yorkshire face.
Oh yes.
So what we might get is a proper Yorkshire face in.
Yeah. Right.
This is a bit of an honour. Gosh. So where did you live when you were with your father? Where was your?
Well, I lived at Cononby. Cononby's at Conisborough.
Conisborough, where the castle is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I lived at, talking about the castle, I've got my face in Conisborough Castle as well.
Really? What, a gargoyle?
No! There's Otto Oates de Thiel.
What?
Otto Oates de Thiel, 13th century, he looked after his lordship's needs and making his fires and making sure there was food on his table and stuff like that.
Yes.
But they've got the image, like you do in the moulding.
Yeah.
They've got the image, but it's like a 9 foot tall projection as you go up the steps into the castle.
Yeah. And it's you?
Yeah. And everybody's, hey, Steve Ashton, Lynn, Conisborough Castle. Oh my God.
So you're like a projection or something? Or
Yeah, every now and again there's like a timing, one of these timing glasses projected on the wall,
right.
and then it's counting down. As soon as the sand goes through, then the image comes on the wall.
Really?
And then it's me speaking.
Are you dressed up in a
It's all
medieval
like,
outfit?
It looks like Robin Hood gear. Doing, hello, my name's Otto Oates de Thiel.
I'm hand servant to the Lord, whatever.
Yeah.
Really? Oh, that's good to know.
What's funny, you know, there's an archaeologist, what's his name? There's a singer I knew from one of the heritage groups, and his daughter, he told me, he said, oh, she's been chosen for Lady Isabella. You know, I said, oh, is she? And I said, oh yeah, no, and when I saw her at Conisborough, when we invited, there she was across the room, you know, but all his faces, and she just looked like him. So I said, oh, so yeah. I said, are you so-and-so's daughter? She said, you know, I mean, yeah, she said, how do you know? I said, you look like him, but like. You know, they're a likeness. Yeah. And I said, what interesting when you find a little bit of pottery.
Carry on. You're too sociable. Move forward. You've got to be disciplined in your conversation.
Oh, yes.
Go on then.
And he put me off now. Yeah.
So you were born on Conisborough, and you lived in pit houses, or?
I was born at Montague Hospital, Mexborough.
Right. Okay.
I was born at, which was a hospital funded by the Coal Board.
Yeah.
So it was built for miners who had, you know, any accidents. They all went to.
Okay.
They all went to that hospital. So that was like one of the main hospitals to treat victims of injuries at the pit.
Right. And care for the needs, obviously, of childbirth and.
Oh yes, yeah. Yes. A couple of my kids were born at that hospital as well. Yeah, decent place.
So where do you live? I mean, did you live in a pit houses? Yes. What was your first house? What did you go back to as a baby?
My first house was on Leslie Avenue, Cononby.
Right.
Lived there until I was 16. And then my good old dad, he says, waiting for 6 weeks holiday for leaving school. And my dad says, oh, come on, Stephen. He says, he says, and you mind going to the woods with your mates? He says, come on. He says, you're going down to the pit.
Really?
I'm going to see about a job. I thought, 6 weeks holiday? He said, no, straight down to the pit. So I went down to KB Pit. Oh, yeah, and I went with my friend as well. And he got asthma. Says, oh, no, I can't set you on. So my best mate, he didn't go down the pit.
Crikey.
And then I was invited and they set me on straight away. Oh, my God.
And so your family were very pro, obviously, because a lot of people say, oh, my father didn't want me to go down pit, I didn't want that to happen.
Yeah. Oh, my dad wanted
you were just really happy to get down
Yeah,
there.
because it wasn't the biggest employers around here, NCB.
Yeah.
And we having uncles and cousins and brothers all working at the pit. And yet,
Gosh, I mean,
my dad made sure that we all started the pit because it was an NCB house, and somebody in the house, because my dad always worried in case he came off ill.
You had to be working.
Yeah, somebody in the house had to be working for the coal board.
Right.
Well, so we made sure that we all the brothers,
So they'd literally chuck you out?
Oh,
if all 8 and 9 of you? would be
apparently, yes. Yeah.
Jesus.
And then
And were they, I mean, did they subsidise the rent and all that sort of stuff? I mean, the coal board good in that way, or was it were they making money out of you in the kind of house, as it were?
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
It'd been,
I imagine.
I suppose they are subsidised
because
because we got free coal as well.
Yeah.
We
got free coal.
We got free coal.
How much coal did you get a month?
It's usually a ton of coal.
A ton of coal. Is that
we all took turns in getting it in. It'd been, yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, a lot of kids don't know what. This is my old brass cheque from KBP.
Oh, brilliant.
And that, a bit of KB coal.
Wow, that's your cheque, yeah. Did this come...
No.
Did this...
That was one of the kids' pencil sharpeners. I used with the helmet on. So
You got that.
my locket.
Did you put it on that coal, or did you get it given to you?
I put that on.
Did you get the coal given to you?
When the kids finished with the pencil sharpener, or when it broke, I took the inside out, and then I made an indentation for my brass cheque to go in. I put my locker key inside the helmet.
Oh, really?
If you look, 1939 locker key,
Gosh.
that's stuck inside. A bit of KB coal. So, just...
Fantastic.
Yeah, so that's just a keepsake.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Museum.
I thought I'd have to show you that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's a bit of real coal, what we used to use for.
It looked very dense. I know you
Yeah.
varnished it probably or something, but
Yeah.
it looked like quite a dense, packed piece of
Black diamonds.
black diamond.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're getting distracted. I don't want you to, because I know we've got a lot to talk about, and I have to try and conduct an interview at the same time.
Yeah.
So I'm interested in the houses and the lifestyle of you as a child. So your childhood, your dad's down the pit. What's your mother doing?
Oh, my mother, when my dad was working, in the summer, besides being a housewife, looking after the house and cooking meals for us, coming home and one thing and another. In her spare time, she used to go with sister-in-law and some of the other ladies, and they used to go in the pea picking fields and potato picking in summer. And when we weren't doing anything, when we were on holidays or anything like that, we used to go pea picking and potato picking as well. Even when we were kids, we used to do it.
Yeah. And your mother.
So that was...
and you were generally earning money in that way then? Earning money for the family?
We come on with the what you call homers. The peas all spurtated, and you could sell them for a few bob around the houses.
Really?
$2 bob, half a crown, or whatever. That's old money.
Would you consider it poor? Would you consider yourself to have been poor?
Well,
or would you consider yourself to have been?
We were fairly poor, but there were other families who were more poorer than us in the street. And my mother, we used to keep hens as well, hens and rabbits. And the poor families, like during the strike, my dad and mother would help out either with the eggs, or knock a rabbit in its head, or ring a hen's neck and boon, and supply them with a bit of food.
So you'd be considered. I mean, obviously you were you know, you'd have your eye on people that needed.
Yeah. 'Cause my mother, even though there was no need for it, she used to with the jumble sales just to get clothing for some of these families, get them shoes.
Really?
Because some of the kids we used to know used to have holes in the shoes back then.
And would these people be willing to accept this kind of charity, or was it quite difficult to?
Drinking partners,
Right.
and my dad as well have been.
Because often
you
you
know.
go, I'm not taking any charity, you know, we're all right, that kind of thing. You hear stories of people saying, actually, no, I don't.
I mean, we helped each other out. You know, I mean, if my dad really did a hand with anything, that they would like to help.
Pigeons?
Yeah.
Any pigeons about?
I had a couple of doves, so they didn't tell. Oh, everybody else on the allotments had pigeons. I mean, it used to be great. One of my mates, a pigeon flyer, come on then. And he says, that blooming pigeon, he says, you know, one of his champions, he says, it's hard to get it in his loft. He says, I'm going to ring its neck one day. He says, if you don't get in that loft, I said, because there's big money or something to be made. And I couldn't believe it. It was just an ordinary pigeon worth a lot of money.
Oh, really? So, what
And
period?
they used to go out in the boxes, in the baskets, down to Conisborough railway station.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, clocking them all in, timing them in. And I go, come on in, you know, shaking the tins. And then I think, God, you know, it was nice to see pigeons flying around.
Yeah.
And then, as I say, I don't know what it would be, his champion bird in the end. He probably wrung its neck. Because he was fed up with it. Because time and time again, he lost money.
What, with his champion bird?
Yeah, with his champion bird. Now and again, he used to get it in. And,
when you say in, you mean getting it back
back into the
after the race to get the clock right.
Yeah, they got to clock them all in with the rings or something.
Yeah. So this damn pigeon would get there and start circling around and not arrive.
Circle round and all land on top of the hook.
So you knew it was going to win, but he couldn't get it in the thing.
And I thought that was crazy. You know, this lad, they call him Robert Peters, and I used to love watching him getting his pigeons in. You know, I mean, when he won it, he was great. It was straight into Ivanhoe.
Is that? I presume that's a pub.
Local pub, yeah. A few drinks. We've done it.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So is this in the 50s, 60s?
Oh yeah. Well, between 50s and 60s, yeah.
So, I love that idea.
Good
this pigeon culture.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Like I said, there's few friends, you know, who used to fly the pigeons, but I just had a couple of fantail doves.
Yeah.
I used to hatch my own eggs out at school in an incubator, or if we had a broody hen, they used to peck, they did. You know, put the eggs under. But
So you put the pigeon eggs under a brooding hen?
Oh no, not pigeon eggs, the
chicken
hen eggs.
These are your you said fantail doves?
Obviously, fantail doves and whatnot. Yeah. I used to like them because, you know, they're
beautiful.
Yeah. When you see him like being Noah in his ark and you see the dove, you know, I thought, well, I might one of them, and I've got 2 or 3.
Really?
Trouble is, I started laying eggs having young, and they've got nearly a shed full by the time I finished.
Really? How lovely.
When a fox or a dog got into the hen run once, going back to the poor families, it was near Christmas time, winter, and something, either a fox or a dog, got into the hen run, killed some of the hens, and a couple of ducks what we had. And my dad buried them in the hard ground of the allotment. And this one of the neighbours, one of our friends, you know all the family, I'll just call him Ned anyway, he said, hey Walt, said to my dad, he said, this is down at Ivanhoe Club, and he says, Walt, he says, what did you do with them hens and them couple of ducks? What got killed today? He says, I buried them in the allotment. He says, because they were poor.
Yeah.
He says, will you do me a favour? He said, well, let me go up to the allotment and show me where they are. And he says, can I have them?
Really?
He says, what do you want? He said, yeah. Anyway, they went to the allotment, dug them all up. My dad took the hens home, he plucked them, gutted them, cleaned them up nice, and they had a great Christmas.
Really?
Yeah. And I didn't tell the family, well, a couple of years ago, you know, the kids.
So you know the family still?
So I still know the family.
You told them?
But if I said the surname, they might be embarrassed.
Yeah, cool.
But you know, it's one of the stories from the past which
incredible.
You know, I thought, well, they're still alive. They're all, I mean, one's a car salesman. They've all done pretty well. You know, been I thought, oh, great.
Wow.
It's like when when they had Hell's Angels.
Oh yeah.
The daughter of one of them married the Kamikazes leader of the motorbike gang from Wath.
So you got a motorbike gang from the
my brother, he had a bantam, and he was 6 foot odd, 6'3", I think.
Yeah.
And then he had a bantam like a Drake 8, but he riding this little bike and going up and down the street. But they used to be Hell's Angels, used to be rival gangs, one at Wath and one at Conisbrough. And then she started, one of the daughters started courting this leader gang from from Wath, and then they've been best friends. I suppose they were rivals at one bit. And then below me, from Leathers, Scorpions were my brothers. They always used to put nice artwork on back of the leather jackets, Scorpions. And they used to have, Kamikaze used to have the Japanese flag, is it? The red flag, the sun. And then when Flower Power came in, they went to Lord Conyers pub on a big night, a big do, and it's all part of universal love. I thought, what? And I looked at it and they didn't pay paper, so all these Hells Angels had turned into Flower Power people. Flower beyond, oh my God. I regard myself as normal because I had ordinary clothes all the way through.
So
I've had same hairstyle since I was a kid. And even my kids said, "Oh, you're like one of these play people you would have. You never change your hairstyle." Well, I'm not bothered. It suits me. Yeah.
So these Hells Angels turned into hippies overnight.
Yeah,
the mass burning of the jackets.
Yeah, because I couldn't believe, you know, when I saw them, because it used to be Doncaster Evening Post, and I got this copy, and it shows you. What do they say in papers? My brother Ronnie said, it's all a part of universal love or something. Oh, you know, hard man, Hell's Angel. I mean, it's all Flower Power, make love, not war.
Well, the world's a better place for it, I should think.
Yeah,
God.
more babies. Oh dear. God. But my granddad, on my mother's side, what can I say about him? We never ever hardly saw him because my dad was, we would call it Protestant. And they were Catholics.
Right.
Because when my mum and dad married, you know, my granddad never had anything to do.
It's funny, we had this story yesterday as well, as someone said. I mean,
Yeah.
I asked about the divide in the minds, whether there was a Protestant Catholic kind of divide. But they didn't seem to think that there was down below.
We all were, when you're working together, just
you don't care.
Yeah, nobody would bother because they're all camaraderie, everybody happy-go-lucky.
It's interesting, this underground kind of world separate from all the politics above, really.
Yeah, but it's like I recently found out that Cilla Black, the singer, she had the same problem. I thought, what? You know, when I saw that film, I thought, what? I said, that's just what happened in our family. What granddaddy being, he's Catholic, he doesn't like the, God. So it never had anything to do with my mum again.
Really?
You know, from when
So his
when
daughter,
married.
basically.
Yeah. My mum weren't bothered. You know, she were happy with my dad. You know, that were it.
And was he down? Was he still up in Durham?
No,
Your maternal grandfather.
No, this is when they're in Woodlands, Doncaster. But he was very strict. Anyway, he used to be Magic Circle as well.
Magic Circle?
When he went down the pit, he used to disappear. No,
Did you get that?
No, he used to do the...
I thought you were going to go, he used to get a white tablecloth out, a little wand, and during snap time, he'd do the moving balls under the cups. But he disappeared underground.
He did the thing with the watches and made things... he made things vanish or whatever, and he went to the clubs, and he always seemed to be busy doing if you weren't official work for the pit, He did the clubs. I don't know if for pin money or just for fun, because he were in the magic circle.
Really?
And then,
Oh, so he was a magician.
yeah, but he always made a point in being out when we came over. My dad never went to my grandparents' house. We used to go out. My granny she always had this funny voice. You know, he used to call us Hinny. And I was thinking, why does my granny talk like that? When I grew up, I found out because it's this Geordie way, is it?
Oh.
Something for little ones or something.
Yeah.
But,
Oh yes, a language.
yeah, and it was just getting used to what she was saying. But we do cakes, jellies, everything. You know, we used to go over. There used to be a table full of food.
Really?
I thought they're rich.
Yeah.
You know, being. Yeah.
And these were your grandparents.
Yeah.
But this is the grandparent that wouldn't talk to your mum.
Yeah.
So you still had a relationship.
My granddad.
Yeah.
My granddad were okay. Just the granddad, because apparently when because they came over from Ireland originally, potato family I think.
Really?
And then they settled in Cumbria. Then my granddad, we were in Durham, met me, I don't know, at Tantoby or Dipton, the place. One of them lived and the other one lived. And then they met each other. Well, my granny were from a farming family.
Right.
And he were in mining, you know, he were an official in mining. And he'd got money as well. And I like looking down the nose at these farming family or whatever, but they're a bit snobbish, if you know what I mean, my granddad. And then they moved down for the deep mines in South Yorkshire.
Yeah.
So for deep mining, so that's why they left it there. But he brought his dad, the great-great-granddad, and then he didn't like it. He can keep Yorkshire, I'm going back.
Right.
So he went back to Geordieland, is it?
Yeah.
Pink Panther country. Yeah.
So, okay. So
yeah,
we've got-
drum.
Oh, right.
You know,
I didn't get that either. Durham. Pink Panther country. Very
yeah.
good. Very
Oh, that's
good.
where.
I like it.
Sorry about that. He'll be laughing all afternoon when he's doing these other
Well,
sculptures.
it's quite nice when you eventually get it. It's like, I've just got it now. I understand. I'm clever.
Yeah.
Durham.
Penny
No, I won't forget that now. I'm buggered now when I go up to Durham.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Jack Cooster. Who was it? What's his name? Peter Sellers.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Peter Sellers, what a genius.
Yeah, definitely.
We don't want to talk about him, we want to talk about you. So, now where were we? Right, I still haven't got the flavour. You keep going off, which is very good. The flavour of your childhood in this house. So, 7 of you living in a pit row street.
Yeah, when I was a child, I used to be in the middle of my brothers in a big double bed. There used to be a single bed in one side of the room, a single bed at the other side of the room, and there are a big double bed. One of the brothers, they got older, they used to smoke and they used to light the bedroom up. But he were allowed because he'd started working down the pit.
So he
He'd
smoking in the
start
bedroom.
smoking. So at night time, and you see, you know, it'd be pitch black, and all of a sudden, room would light up. Oh God, what's this? And then, but usually, my younger brother, I always used to wake up in the morning. Or my dad used to cut hair.
Cut hair?
Cut hair, yes. My younger brother used to like chewing gum. My brother Kevin, and he'd be in the middle of us. And you can guarantee, sometimes he'd stick his chewing gum on the bed head, behind the bed head.
Like Lonnie Donegan.
Yeah, but then, yeah, I just like him as well. But then, sometimes I used to wake up and at the back of my head, I got this hard patch. And the next morning I thought, what's this? I'd try and pull it off. What is it?
Oh.
And it was chewing gum stuck up my back of my hair. Well, my dad, he got the old shears, you know, when he were in Burma,
Oh,
he
right.
used to take his shears with him. He could cut the different soldiers' hair, you know, when they were
So
out,
he was in Burma.
when they're out in action. And then he used to cut everybody's hair. And then when we were kids, because he loved his boxing as well, my dad.
What, actually fighting himself?
He used to be a boxer.
Did he?
They just called him Golden Boy of Sarabaya or something. You know, being Surabaya.
Was that in Burma?
Yeah. So it used to be boxing in the army as well. We
Yeah.
when they went fighting. And then, I got these shears. I've still got them down my cellar in a box. And it been cut me hair, and they used to pinch, and it got, it cut this big lump out the back of my hair. And then it'd be, bang, you get a, what's that name of that boxer? Oh, I forgot the old time boxer. I said, I bet you never cut his hair, did you? I mean, some famous boxers.
Joe Lewis or something.
Yeah, it's something like Joe Lewis or, I forgot his name now.
Sonny, what's his name? Sonny Liston?
Yeah.
One of those.
But I said, I bet you never cut his hair. Bang, I've got another crack. Oh, God. Then I was good with the army style to school then. Yeah.
That was before you decided upon this style. So your dad was in Burma.
Yeah.
Was that a traumatic war, or was he?
Like I say, he'd been.
Did you fight? I mean, obviously, he saw it. It was a horrible war.
I used to, muck and bullets and whatever. When I went, we're getting typhoid, is it?
Yeah. Typhus and typhoid, yeah.
Yeah, all these illnesses what they get, and they said they're a lump. Slept on this lump overnight, been covered in soil. They said they didn't know until next morning when light came, it was a dead jab.
Jesus.
Oh,
wow.
So that's nice, and they're all maggots coming out where they've been laying.
These young impressionable people.
I thought, oh God, and he's telling us all these horrible tales.
So I mean, this sounds like he was, not traumatised. He was a guy that had handled it, obviously.
He was keen as well, because he came out with a tale once. There's somebody in the jungles in Burma, behind the bushes and with all the goes there, and no answer from my dad, let rip. And there were monks.
Really?
Behind them. Should have said that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh God.
Horrifying.
He's a murderer.
Yeah, horrifying, isn't it?
Yeah, but on the World at War series, there's one called It's a Lovely Day Tomorrow, named after Vera Lynn's title. And my dad is on this film.
Is he?
And he's walking by some American tanks. And when I used to see it, there used to be, years ago, there used to be, Churchill theme tune and something, dum 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 dum. And there was people, place, a time, a face, of memories I'd forgot. On television on this, and my dad used to like Charlie Chaplin moving on the other side of these.
Really?
But Thames Television slowed all the film down to walking pace.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it'd be nice if they coloured it in now with this new technology. Yeah. And there's my dad. He's walking, line of soldiers walking by these American tanks down this road, and then retreated, I think. And then it said the bloke in front of him when he went just before, and what is the bloke? Yeah, the bloke in front of him went round the bend. He said he got shot.
What? Just as a film? Outshot the film?
Because it said an American cameraman cranking his box, filming it.
Really?
And then the film on World at War, it stops on the chap behind me, Dad. But we've got the memories. I've got the DVD with my dad on it.
Really?
In normal walking pace, and he smiled at the camera.
Right.
Turned around and smiles at the camera. As he's passing. I thought, typical of your dad. He's worse than me.
Sounds like a character.
It sounds like he'd been passed on.
Wow. So he was a cheeky chap then.
Yeah.
In his youth.
But he never did see he saw the old version of that film. But I mean, died before the Thames Television.
Yeah. Technology
film did that one.
Yeah.
He'd have loved to have seen that, and we managed to get photographs of it as well. So that's, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, that's another thing. We had his old army blanket. That used to be on our bed.
Really?
Because if anybody, like me, one of my brothers, when they were younger, used to wet beds, but I used to have this blue army blanket on the bed.
So how was how was bedwetting handled in the family? Was your dad tolerant of that?
My dad said they should have got a doctor, something like that. And my man, it'll be all right, he'll grow out of it. One of my brothers. It's a big row to it. And then the other brothers would say, Pongo! You know, the other brothers would call him name Pongo. I said, well, I didn't
God,
tell.
so yeah, I mean,
Me, when I was young, I think I was about 11 years old, and I used to like touch my ear, nice and cold, and suck my thumb. I used to call my telephone exchange. We'd all got names. I mean, my younger brother Kevin, he got mumps, and he went chunky. They called him Fat Saz. So I still name him Saz.
gosh, it sounds like a very colourful.
And he used to call me T-Bum instead of Stephen. He used to call me T-Bum, and that stuck over years. You know, we've got all nicknames. Oh God,
That's brilliant.
yeah.
Sounds real
Plus,
colourful.
I like tea. I'm not a drinker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which all my brothers were drinkers.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's never been.
So you're not a drinker?
It's not my thing. Yeah. Christmas, if somebody get me a rum and blackcurrant or something like that, I might try it. Or
Yeah.
I remember my dad says, "Oh, I'll get this whiskey down you," and he was giving me. I smelled it. I had a sniff of it. Ugh. I said, "It stinks awful. Get it down you." It says, "Hold your nose."
Force feeding you.
Oh! And I remember the warm glow inside. I think you're trying to kill me off. Yeah.
God.
Oh dear.
That's amazing. What a kind of a life, you know, this tribe of the you move forward a bit.
Tribe of Dingles.
Yeah. I mean, you were a typical family in the street in the sense of the scale of you and the.
Well, we were better off than some, as I say. Yeah. So it's
But the number of you.
yeah.
I mean, wasn't outrageously big family. It was quite normal for the street.
Yeah, because I think the family my dad gave the chickens, dug the hens up from the allotment and gave them for Christmas.
Yeah.
There were quite a few of them in their families. They're a big family. And my brother, we've got some. My younger brothers, he always experimented with electronics and stuff like that. Always experimented with electronics. And the one day, the old black and white television, two channels I think we got then, ITV and BBC. And then one day got these walkie-talkies for Christmas, Kevin, Fat Saz. And then he'd try them and turn the television to switch this dial, and it came on, and his voice came over. I said, oh, talking on, loudspeaker. Oh, great.
Oh,
Anyway, he says, oh, we'll have our own little radio station. He'd got a record player, he got it all wired up, and he said, my name is Kevin, and we said Stephen St. James. He says, this is Radio Economy with our up-to-date discs and comedy, cracking jokes, all these jokes,
Yeah.
reciting them. And you're going down well, we did it a few weeks, this thing. Then
What, in the front room?
Yeah, we went in the parlour room at the back, got the records, all up-to-date records as well, all 60s stuff. And then Ned from across road with a big family, he came across and said, "Hey, Walt," he says, "I've just heard your kids on my television."
No.
This is from up top of the street. He said, "You want to tell them to stop it because they'll be in police keep patrolling the streets, illegal broadcasts." Yeah, but I kept my still in parlour. This is Radio Economy with our up-to-date discs and comedy. And they crack another joke off. And Kevin didn't want to stop. Kevin. But I was terrified, mate, because my other brother used to listen to police radio messages as well.
God, right, yeah.
Whenever he said any police were around in Conisbrough, doing, going to any places, you go, beep, 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 beep.
Really?
And then you hear the messages, they're coming up Montague Avenue or whatever. Quick, turn it all off. That was the days of Radio Luxembourg and things like that.
God, yeah.
This Kevin doing all this. Oh,
Fantastic.
pirate radio.
Bloody brilliant.
Yeah, the memories.
Yeah.
All that when we thought we'd done a bob up in garden. Kevin wanted to dig a tunnel. He wanted to have a den in the garden. Digging away, and he got this big black shiny thing. Dad, there's a bombing yarn. So, you know, he told to whatever. And then, Dad, this is a bombing yarn. And so our neighbours were all scared and were watching what's going on, this bomb. You know, this big black shiny thing in garden, you know, about 2 or 3 foot down. And when my dad come out, he said, yeah, silly beggar, he says, that's a pipe, it's a water pipe. And I've been, Kevin didn't even had his head against it, listening for it ticking. I can hear noises. Oh, God.
Yeah, that was the toilet flushing.
Yeah.
Not ticking.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Gosh. So, were you youngest, oldest, middle?
I was second to youngest.
So you were in a side bed, middle bed?
I was I was at the end on a big bed.
On a big bed. And how many was there? About 3 of you in that bed?
Sometimes it'd be 3, sometimes it'd be 4. But Kevin were always, he was the youngest, and he was always the one who would stick my ear. And it didn't happen once, it happened a few times.
Chewing gum.
You know, kept trying to make sure he didn't have any chewing gum when he went to bed. Yeah. We thought we got a ghost once, because back there used to be a little old fireplace. Middle of the night, all these noises. They were all holding his breath, thinking, there's a ghost in the bedroom. What is it? What is it? It was a mouse.
Oh, God.
And so there was a little milk bottle top in this old fireplace. And it just rattled in the middle of the night. We'd all hold his breath. Hey, that ghost's back. Shh, shh, listen.
So
Everybody's heartbeat. Hold your breath, hold your breath, hold your breath. Oh, God. And then we found out it was a mouse. You know, my dad set a trap and we got it. Yeah.
So your mum and dad were in the next room, basically, upstairs.
Yeah.
So you had your big room there, there was a room. And mum and dad there, stairs downstairs.
We had 2 brothers in the next bedroom. There were us in this bedroom, and then there were my dad and mum's bedroom.
And you were all boys, there's no girls?
Yeah, all boys.
Riley.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh, my dad had been married once before. He got a daughter.
Okay.
But never really met her.
Okay.
But all my mum's kids have been.
We'll move forward a bit.
Yeah.
Let's go forward a tad, a foot, if we could.
I think in my mum's family there were about 13 or 14 kids.
Good.
I don't think Catholics believed in birth control. Yeah.
13, 14.
Yeah. So we know what he did in his spare time.
Yeah. So then we get to you. Get to the age of, you're at school.
Right.
So you're at school and you're enjoying your life.
My dad's got me down the pit, I got to the pit, well, after medicals and one thing and another, worked on the pit top.
What date are we talking? 66?
So that's 66, 67. Stacking wood, getting all materials ready and pit props and stuff like that, loading them onto mine cars ready for going underground.
So did you do the training?
So, yeah. So, I trained on the pit top to do that, and I did like it. And winter come, you know, we're in a nice warm cabin with a fire. I thought, oh, great. And then I went, they said, oh, good news, you're going for some training. So we went to Manvers. So the day release at college, and then sitting in classrooms, listening to, you know, having lessons about mining. And then we went down Manvers pit. Well, first thing we did on Manvers pit, you know, got these old clothes. We had to take his own old clothes. There's no bright overalls and things at that time. It says, you know, they supplied the boots and the knee pads and the helmet and everything. And then we went down the pit, melting field seam, and it says, right, right lads, we're going to put sling gears and limmer gears on ponies. I thought,
can we just ask you something before that? Limmer? What's a limmer?
Limmer gears.
What are they?
There are all these straps and things where you tie the pony. Well, I'd never done anything like this, so I didn't know. When it says sling gears and limmer gears on ponies, I thought, ponies? I thought, Harpy ain't got ponies. He says, sure, they ain't got ponies still.
Really?
And they've got 2 ponies down the pit. And went round what you call Boxhole, went round this corner. I thought, well, what's this sling gears and limmer gears and ponies? And I'm thinking, no ponies in mines now, Anyway, went round this corner, there's a blooming pony.
Really?
Staring at you. And I thought, oh, a real pony on the ground.
Wow.
And then, so then we had to get this pony and then fasten all these straps onto it and then fasten it up to a tub. Then we had to stick it, once all that were done, we got a locker key, you know, to hold the tub so it didn't roll. And they said, right, come on. Then we went through some air doors with this pony and then we had to fill some coal off what were all on the floor, floor this coal into this tub, fill it up. Then we had to take it and unload it and then bring onto this conveyor belt and then go in off and then reload it again and then bring the pony back again.
Gosh.
And you know, I thought, well, what point in that? You know, nobody's getting this. It's just like keep dumping it and empty, you know, filling it up, emptying it. But you know, that part of that training at Manvers.
Mm.
Then we went back to KP, and then because I'd done that training, so then we were allowed that's underground training.
Mm.
Well, Manvers pit used to go down the shaft fairly fast, but when got the KP pit to go down our shaft, you know, it was deep as well. I think, well, like Concorde, you got on a cage and you went down, whoosh, you know, and really fast, and then somebody else, Mother! You know, I think, God, a grown-up fella shouting, Mother. Wow. You know, just my heart sunk, because we're travelling that fast. Yeah. And then it starts jerking slowly and then stops on your landing. So then I worked on what you call force loader. Oh, no, I was on discharge first, unloading cars for about 12 months into a hole. And then you just go out to after the pit, and then after that I went. That's my phone.
So you're on.
Yeah, where were we?
So where were we? Just done the pit. We've done the pit training. We've done the ponies, and we were just coming up to you and your. Where were we on the fire?
I left the pit bottom and then I went up to force loader.
That's it, force loader.
This is all the coal faces. You know, when the filling in all the conveyor belts, they all lead onto our loader. And I learnt out of the air chutes and shoots up and down, you know, dropping into big mine cars. You know, about 14 foot long, these big mine cars. Mm. And we used to have about 22 or 20, you know, between 22 and 24 mine cars on the locals used to keep coming in and we'd fill them up. And empties just come in back and another local would come and take the others away once you'd filled them. I did like that job. And then when I went fossil hunting, you know, because like when jobs stood, you know, looking at walls and you know, thinking, oh, any fossils? Yes, but plenty of fossils. Really? There were loads at Manvers, at Melton Field scene. But then one day, one of the gaffers, one of the bosses, he came down with his walking stick. He says, I want you to line up chalk, you know, he says, what have you filled it in the last half an hour? And I said, oh, just, you know, this line of mine cars. And he says, right, he says, I want you to chalk an X on these. He says, and if you see any bits of flesh, body parts coming...
Joking.
I thought, what? Well, there'd been a man cut up on one of the coal faces. You know, filling these mine cars and I was dreading it. But all these were chalked up with an X. You know, they were going to be destroyed or, you know, burnt or tipped somewhere or whatever. And so that was my first experience of somebody
really
dying down the pit.
This is in your early training?
Yeah. And then, you know, I think there were 22 mine cars I had to chalk up for a big white X.
That had stuff in them?
Yeah. But I look at it, I hadn't seen what. This is, because I had the tail head, he says, look, like in a butcher's shop, there's lumps of meat or whatever. It looks like a...
You're joking?
From butchers, you know, it says, they used to pick them all and put them into bags and stuff like this. Well, I'm glad they found them and put them into bags because I couldn't have stuck that, you know, I mean, that were horrible. So, you know, I mean, so all good quality coal had to be destroyed, you know, because like there are all these body parts which is still missing. I can't remember the mine who did it, but he'd gone around the picks or something on the coal face. So, oh God. So that was a bit traumatic. Yeah.
So that sort of fear, I mean, did that pass by you in the end? Did you?
Oh yeah, just carry on doing your job.
You weren't constantly scared underground, as it were?
No. It went until after another friend of mine, he got killed at pit.
Really?
That's when I started worrying about the job, because it was a job I worked on.
Really? What happened?
Well, I was on 31's face down the deep in Swallowwood Seam. And
Swallowwood? Well, you had that yesterday.
Yeah.
Swallowed wood.
Yeah. And then it was, we were in bad conditions because there's a fault at KB. We'd lost the coal face. We had to go head it down or whatever to try and get back to where the coal were. Well, in the Hague Moor Seam, they were on production bonus, getting coal out, getting bonuses. And we had all this rock top, just trying to get back into the coal. And then it kept bitting, bits falling down all the time.
Rock?
And bits of rock, yeah, and it's sharp. And then all loose stuff. Trying to keep it all supported. I mean, one day it all came in, and it's like 20 foot up, and you've got to put wooden blocks up, trying to support it all. But all these dangers, just live with them. You try not to think about the dangers. But anyway, the day that my friend Pat got killed, he did days and afters, and I did days and nights and afters. But sometimes we used to drop on the same shift. And then when I went to work down the pit, went on the shaft side, and said, "Oh, there's been an accident on your job." I said, "That's not my fault."
It's me. Just press stop, will you? Thank you.
Yeah, they said there'd been an accident in your job. I said, "Oh yeah," it says Pat and this Caleb has been thrown against the cutting machine.
Who? What?
This bloke called him Caleb. He'd been thrown against a cutting machine, but he's got a broken arm. I said, "Oh," but Pat is in a more serious way, but they didn't say anything what had happened. Anyway, when he came up on the stretcher, well, this Caleb, when his head was showing, I think he was glad to get out of pit, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Then Pat came up, and he was covered up. So I knew he was dead. Then his arm flopped down.
Shit.
And then it was like the first time I'd ever seen a dead body as well. So and my eyes are just like black, like circles, and like these little tiny white dots. Oh, I was sweating, and I sat on the platform and came pit head. And it just felt sick. And I put my head behind and I rolled in my eyes. And then reality, it's dead. And then they said, "Oh, everybody's got to go back to work because it's good for the widow or something. And she gets more money. The widow gets more money or something." I don't know how it worked out. Anyway, we all went down the pit, and this rock we were above him, which had crushed him, it was about 14 foot long. And to just come out to the top. It's perfect conditions, as we thought. And they've been saying how smooth and perfect it were, and then it just went bang, and it just the 14-foot lump came down and crushed him. So it didn't swallow dust; it just knocked his air out of it. And then somebody says his arm was like that, his hand, then it stopped. And so I'm hearing all these tales, and all night long there were different men telling stories what they've seen down the pit, the different accidents. About the different people cut up and one thing and another, and fingers off and God knows what. And then the next morning, I was just glad to get home.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh God, I'd had enough, And I went to bed and I tried to get up the afternoon for work, getting ready. And I had pleurisy. So for 2 weeks I had this pleurisy, this pains in my side. I couldn't walk. And to top it all, I got a chimney fire, coal fire in my fireplace, bringing all the chimney on fire. And this lad called Billy Reid, he used to be a volunteer fireman at Conisbury Fire Station, as was, it's gone now. But, and he turned up at my house at Denby at Braithwell Street, and yeah, he goes, "Hi up, Steve, how am I going on?" Oh, yeah. Because it took me ages to get a phone box to phone, no mobile phones.
Right,
then.
yeah.
It took me ages to get a phone box to phone because the chimney were on fire. Flames shooting out of the chimney and sparks. Oh God, my house is going to burn down. And then he came and put things round and squirted up the chimney and down the chimney. And yeah, and I thought, well, he worked with me down the pit and he's here doing volunteer fireman. Jesus. I thought, jack of all trades.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
So you obviously had a, you know, it was set up and you were doing
Yeah.
your business, and then you, how many years is it before you get your own house?
Well, when I got married, 1972, I went up to the Providence offices and I said, "Oh, I've got married. I understand I qualify for a house." "Oh yeah." So I had to wait a little bit, and then when a house came, they said, "We'll let you know." I said, "Oh, great," you know, because I was expecting an economy house. Women would have brought up, which has got hot and cold running taps, and you know, got a bathroom and everything. And then I got this keys for this house, 11 Braithwell Street, Denby, Maine. So I went down to this house. I thought, oh, beautiful, my own house, yeah, sash windows. I didn't know about these things to do with sash windows after, you know, that you couldn't get furniture in the house. You'd have to go through, you'd take the window out to get furniture for bedrooms, to get a bed in or anything like that. You had to go up ladders and push a bed in, or your wardrobes in, because it's the stairway in that house was narrow. Well, I didn't know all these things, and then I got this house and I looked, I thought, great, 2 rooms, you know, the kitchen and the living room, smashing. Went up this narrow stairway, upstairs, 2 bedrooms, fantastic. And a big bedroom with massive rooms. I thought, great this. Oh, I love this place. And then I went up and then more stairs. Went to the attic, a massive attic room. I thought, oh, I could use this on my art projects or anything like that. I thought, great, it's fantastic. Anyway, I looked out the window, you know, you could look, nice views at all the streets, you know, all smoky tops, and then Rosington Street School at bottom. I thought, oh, I like this house, I love it. Anyway, I went downstairs, and they said, I said, where's the toilet? It's outside. Anyway, so, you know, I found out there's a yard at the back of the toilet, and the coal house. Anyway, yeah, I said, oh, I'll have keys for this. And I went back to Providence offices at Cadeby. I said, oh, yes, are you happy with it? He said, oh, yeah, it's a smashing house, great. Then I something lit up, really, and I said, oh. I said, I never noticed where the bathroom was. I said, where's the bathroom? And he says, well, you know, when you go out the back door, he says, yeah, there's a yard, a concrete yard with brick walls, yeah. He says, there's a coal house. I says, yeah. He says, he said what the other one was, but the common terms. And then and I said, a toilet. I said, yeah, toilet. With green door, yeah. And then he said, well, at the side there's a little room. It's a little room. It's about 2 or 3, just over 2 foot wide. He says, about 6 foot high, or just over 6 foot. I said, yeah. He says, well, in that little room there, that space, inside your toilet, he says, that's your bathroom. So what do you mean my bathroom? I thought, you can hardly get in there. And he says, no, he says, if you look in there, there's a 6 foot bath, tin bath.
Wow.
I thought, what? I've got a tin bath. I've accepted keys, I've signed for them, and I've got a tin bath. And my mum and dad's house, we got, you know,
Yeah.
we were modernised.
Wow.
I thought, I've got to go back into dark ages, 1920s or something.
God.
I thought, what have I done? You know, I mean, that were all right. I got used to, when we used to have a bath in the room, front room, and the doors locked, curtains shut and everything. One side of the bath would get really hot next to the fire. You'd be having a bath. But like when somebody came to the door, you know, I'm in Bath. You know, like wife went in Bath one day, and somebody came and said, "Oh, wife's in Bath." Whoa! Hey, my brother, "Whoa, let me in, quick!" And he's rattling the door. Ah! You know, you know, just having a joke. So she gets towel around and scurries off upstairs. God, you know, so you that was a big shock when I said, "How do I get my bed into the house?" You know, I can't get my bed. You know, can't get through bottom. You know, it's stuck in the kitchen, and I had to wait while somebody told me. He says, "Oh, somebody will get in. You know, I've got a maid who will come and undoing all these bin metal weights and things inside the window, taking all the window out." I thought, I think I can get window back in. And then got some ladders and they're pushing everything up. Same with wardrobes. Blow me neck. I said, this is a nightmare. What about if I want to leave and I've got to take everything back out again? Everything's got to be... Oh, it was a bit of a nightmare, but I got used to it.
So was it basically a house that no one else wanted, or was it...
No,
I mean, it sounds good.
All the pit houses were the same. All the rows and rows of pit houses at Denby. Gosh. And then when they had the... when the thing came to knock all the houses down, you know, been regenerating the area, they knocked the old pit houses down, all the streets and everything, and been so then we all, it was like a modernised Denby, doing proper houses with hot and cold running water, and we didn't have a boiler, you know, to try and heat it with coal. Us brothers, you know, when I was younger, if we had any little fallouts, we had a quick fight, and then everybody went back to normal. You know, knock each other's heads off or whatever. And my dad used, if we got into fights at home, my dad, you know, used to say, "Oh, go on." And my mum, he used to stop him.
Really? Your dad used to cheer it on?
If my mum were out shopping, we got into a fight, my dad, because he loved boxing or fighting, come on, he'd sit in his chair, let us get on with it, we're knocking hell out each other. But my dad used to teach boxing on garden. You know, where there's supposed to be a nice lawn, there was like a dry patch where he had a makeshift boxing ring at Colomby. And years after, all these old fellas used to tell me, "Oh, I remember when we used to go boxing on your garden." I says, "I can't remember much about it." And then says, "Oh yeah." He says, we used to go up. He says, "Your dad had a medal, a Burma Star." He says, "Yeah." He says, "That was prize if we won." He says, "You'd have cauliflower ears, busted nose, black eyes, you're bleeding all over." He said, knock 7 shades out on each other. And he says, and then, you know, you think, "Oh, I've won this match." He said, "Yeah, I thought I'd got this medal." He says, "Yeah." He said, and he stops and says, "Stop." He said, "Right then, you've both done well, lads," you know, tapping him up back. "You've done what? Here's a drink," you know, put both the arms at them. "You've done very well." So neither one got the medal. And he says, I thought it was just that once. He said, but I saw it happen again. You know, he says, "Crafty, your dad. He kept that medal." Well, yeah. But my younger brother Kevin, fat Zaz, he went to Tom Hill Youth Club boxing, and he used to have long hair back in the 70s. And my dad got him to go boxing at Tom Hill Youth Club. But he went to all the boxing matches. But every time he was boxing, Kevin never tied his hair up. And if his hair flopped in front of his eyes, you know, and somebody would bang. Well, Kevin used to get a few knockouts. But he said, "I was getting fed up and punched in the face," because he says, "I like my looks," he says. And he said, so I packed it in, but my dad didn't like it. He kept saying, "Get your hair cut, get your hair cut," because my dad always did the short back and side. But yeah, so Kevin just packed in with his boxing. Yeah, that was that. Yeah, fun days. Yeah, and he used to build plenty of mice around the pit as well.
Really?
The one chap, you know, one bit, he got a piece of bread tied up on one of girders, steel ring girders, a piece of string with a bit of bread. He says, "Watch this. Just sit still a bit." I'm sat still at the side of this roadway watching. It's snap time, this. And then all these mice had come out from nowhere, you know, climbing up, finding ways, pathways up the wall or over the ring, round. And then you see a mouse wriggling down the blue stream.
No.
Oh God, pit mouse. Brilliant. And it's been then he gets the bread. Further up the roadway, there was somebody, he'd been killing mice, you know, he'd got about 20 mice all in a row. You know, on one of the loaders. Jesus. So we're like overrun. But after it strikes, you know, after pit strikes, you know, no more. They must have. I said, where's all mice gone? He said, oh, they'll have ate each other.
Oh,
you know,
God.
the cannibals. He says, I once put 3 mice in a bottle. He says, you can't change, put a water bottle. This is down pit. And it comes down and it says, they can't get back out. He said, I fastened it. He said, but the one mouse left after a week. He said, the one mouse. Blimey heck. Now, do you want to know about the pit ghost?
Oh, yeah, go on.
Right. They were to tell you about this pit ghost, Lalu.
Lalu.
Yeah. So it went down the deep at Memphis. There's been telling these stories about Lalu. So going along this roadway, and then, you know, so having a laugh. And so, some of the lads, you know, listening intently to different ghost stories and say something about Lalu, or jump out and get you or wherever. He says, because there are no toilets down, he said, if you get in one of them manholes, he said sometimes he might jump out or jump on you while you're having a number 1 or 2. Because there were no toilets, they used to stink the place out. And so he covered it with dust, but he says, if you didn't cover it up, Lalu would get you. You know, it'd pop out from nowhere. And then all of a sudden, in distance, you know, about 100, 200 yards away, these like green eyes blinking. You know, really bright, shining headlamp, as cap lamps. These 2 eyes blink. Oh, there, what's that? This trainer, he says, it's Lalu. Lalu. Then my ear started feeling a bit itchy, and lads are, getting behind each other. What is it? What is it? And I'm looking, you know, because I want to get closer to find out what this thing were. He says, it is. He says, be careful as you go up, be quiet. He says, just keep going. And we got up, and they blinking, then moving to one side, these eyes. What the friggin' hecky is that? You know, it's moving, you know, it's low down, it's not a man, you know, it's something. And it was a big cat. A big tomcat down pit. At mine, they used to feed this cat. This is at Memphis with their pony, and they used to feed the cat, and it used to feed on mice as well at that time.
Yeah.
And I thought, talk about relief when I saw the cat. I said, what's the cat doing down pit? I said, bad enough they've got ponies down pit. I said, now you've got a cat. I said, oh no, it's pit cat. You know, so we only take it out whenever they go on strike route. You know, all miners feed it and whatever. So yeah, then what really interesting bits in mining.
Yeah, the detail.
But like I said, after my friend got killed on my job, I did 12 months, I think. I had to leave, you know. My brothers had all left pits to go into all the jobs, and I left the coal mine then, and I went to work at Stelrad's making radiators.
Okay.
And there were more gaffers, you know, like a KB pit. If anybody upset the job, if a gaffer came around and said, I want you to do this, you've got to do that, you've got to do this. Right, I said, we're not doing that, we're going to rag up, we went for what we're paid for. I said, they rag up and they go out at pit, go on strike, then they come back down again next day. So, you know, so we got a day off.
Yeah.
I've been, fantastic. There were good times. You know, with union, they get you out. When I went to Stelrad's, they got all these gaffers. And I'm testing radiators, making radiators and welding and testing them. And then this one gaffer came to me and he says, the line stopped and I had to mark everything down on a sheet. So I sat down in a chair to mark the sheet.
Yeah.
And then as I sat down, this gaffer came along and he says, what are you doing? I said, I'm marking my sheet. You can't. He says, get a brush. I says, who are you? Who would talk to me like that? You'd have been like I'm a bit of dirt or something. I'm Mr. So-and-so. I said, I don't care who you are, you don't talk to people. He says, right, he says, you've got a warning. And then I went to uni and I thought, these union men, just do what he says, just do what he says. And I was just shocked. I thought, well, if there'd been a miner down pit, you know, they'd all gone on strike, the whole lot.
Really?
So that would have been it. They'd all, you know, while they got something resolved and then back down to pit again. you know, been argue things out at union box or whatever, who's right and who's wrong.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
but then I thought, in the first few weeks, before I settled in, I went back to KBP. And I said, oh, sorry. He says, I know you were a good worker at KBP and all that. I said, but you shouldn't have left. I said, because now there's a total en bloc in all area. That was like 5 years before big strike. Oh God, it's done now.
So that.
And I've seen a few of my friends, you know, with lung diseases and whatever, who went through all the mining, you know, and seen them walking up the street, you know, spitting and whatever, how it's affected them over the years. All passed away, and I think, oh God. And there's a strike photo of me back in the 70s, and I showed it to somebody. And I said, oh, you know, all of them on that photo are all dead. I said, cheeky sod. I said, look, I said, that's me there. You know, the way that everyone on this picture, except for me, still going. As I said, I look young for my age.
You do. Not in this sculpture though.
I know, it make me. Somebody was saying to me the other day, it says, oh, I like all these characters that is Laurence's sculpted, because they all look rugged, and except for me. So going to put you up on Disney.
You're too smooth. You got baby face.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
It's all that chewing gum.
All this is complimentary. Yeah.
Oh.
It's 11 o'clock.
Oh, sugar. Right. Well, I need another half hour on that.
You're not doing too bad at all. You're working well.
Not too bad at it, really. Is it?
We're getting production bonus for all this.
I even gave him a compliment yesterday.
Yeah.
That's the first one in the whole year that we've been doing
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, I'll give it a treat. I'll give him a word. You got one?
I'm good, thanks.
Go on. Put one. Put it back in my pocket.
Yeah. Save it.
You're
yeah.
not going to get dreaded lurgy, you know. I mean, after chewing all this stuff he's eating here.
I know.
Yeah.
I give it some eyeballs. I think you need an eyeball. You need a twinkle in your eye, you do.
Oh, you're good. You're looking after me. Yeah.
Great face. I could have done with a bit of time on that.